The most successful people aren't the ones working hardest. They're the ones working smartest. What if your laziness is actually your greatest strength? Let me show you why. Strategic laziness isn't about doing nothing. It's about directing your limited energy only toward what truly matters. The ambitious but lazy person doesn't avoid work. They avoid unnecessary work. They understand that energy, not time, is their most precious resource. This mindset shift is super important. Seeing laziness not as a character flaw, but as an efficiency driver that pushes you to find the path of least resistance to your goals. This perspective should change the way you look at life. Consider two people with the same goal: building a successful online business. Person A works 80 hours weekly on every aspect. Person B focuses only on high-impact activities, automating or eliminating the rest. 6 months later, Person B has built a sustainable system, while Person A is burning out, despite working twice as hard. It's not about effort, it's about leverage. By embracing strategic laziness, you'll accomplish more meaningful work while experiencing less stress and burnout. You'll stop confusing activity with accomplishment and start designing a system that works for you, not the other way around. We've all stayed late at work, only to realize we accomplished nothing truly important. We mistake busyness for productivity, wearing exhaustion as a badge of honor. The modern workplace celebrates the person who stays latest, not the one who accomplished most. This culture traps ambitious people in inefficient work patterns. Remember the last time you worked frantically all day but couldn't name a single important thing you actually finished? We've all been there. It's funny how we'll spend 3 hours researching productivity hacks instead of just doing the actual work. Though sometimes that's because deep down, we know the work isn't worth doing in the first place. That's the ambitious but lazy superpower, sniffing out what's actually worth doing. Chapter 1. The 80-20 Rule, your new life philosophy. What if 80% of your efforts produce only 20% of your results? That means most of what you're doing right now is a spectacular waste of your time. The Pareto principle states that roughly 80% of effects come from 20% of causes. Applied to your life, this means 80% of your results come from just 20% of your actions. This isn't just a theory, it's a universal law. By identifying your high-impact 20%, you can quadruple your effectiveness while eliminating low-value activities. The ambitious but lazy doesn't try to do everything better. They ruthlessly eliminate everything except what drives extraordinary results. Look at your last month of work. Which 20% of activities produce the most value? For a salesperson, it might be following up with qualified leads. For a creator, it's probably producing content, not endlessly tweaking your workspace. Once identified, double down on these activities and begin systematically eliminating or delegating the rest. When you apply the 80-20 rule consistently, you'll experience a profound shift. You'll accomplish more with less effort and wonder why you ever wasted time on low-impact tasks. Your definition of productivity will transform forever. We often feel accomplished after clearing our inbox or attending meetings, but these rarely move the needle on what really matters in our work and lives. Society celebrates completion of tasks rather than impact of results, leading most people to optimize for the wrong metrics in their lives and careers. Think about your most productive day ever. I bet it involved focusing deeply on just 1 or 2 high-impact activities, not checking off 20 small tasks. That's the 80-20 rule in action. I once spent an entire day organizing my digital files to be more productive, only to never look at 90% of them again. It's like cleaning your house before the robot vacuum arrives. Sometimes our productivity efforts are just busy work in disguise. Our laziness is trying to tell us something important if we'd only listen. Chapter 2. Decision minimization, preserving mental energy. Every decision you make drains your mental energy. What if you could eliminate 90% of decisions from your life and save that energy for what really matters? Decision fatigue silently sabotages your productivity. Research shows that willpower and decision-making deplete throughout the day like a muscle. This is why productivity hacks eventually fail. The ambitious but lazy creates decision frameworks, templates, and defaults that eliminate thousands of minor choices. By deciding once for recurring situations, you preserve mental energy for truly important decisions and creative work. Create a default schedule with predetermined time blocks for important work. Establish personal policies like, I don't take meetings before 11 a.m., or I always work on creative projects first. Simplify recurring decisions like meals and clothing. Each decision eliminated is mental energy, preserved for high-leverage thinking. These aren't minor tweaks, they're profound changes. By minimizing decisions, you'll maintain peak mental performance throughout the day. You'll break the cycle of starting strong but ending weak, and you'll consistently direct your best thinking to your most important work. By late afternoon, most of us struggle to decide what to eat for dinner, let alone make strategic decisions about our most important projects and goals. We celebrate people with strong willpower, when in reality, they've just designed better systems that require less willpower in the first place. Remember feeling mentally drained after a day of back-to-back decisions, even though you didn't do any physically demanding work? That's decision fatigue in action. I have exactly 5 nearly identical outfits for workdays. My friends think it's weird, but I think it's weird to waste brain power every morning deciding which fabric to put on your body when you could be thinking about literally anything else. The ambitious but lazy know that creativity should be reserved for what matters, not for figuring out if blue goes with khaki. Chapter 3. Environment Design Making Good Choices Effortless. Your environment will always beat your willpower. So, stop trying to be disciplined and start designing a world where the right choices are the easy choices. Willpower is overrated. Your environment, physical, digital, and social, shapes your behaviors more powerfully than intentions ever will. This is liberating. The ambitious but lazy doesn't fight against their natural tendencies. They design environments that make good behaviors inevitable and bad behaviors impossible. By reducing friction for important tasks and increasing friction for distractions, you create a world that pulls you toward your goals. Want to focus better? Put your phone in another room, not just on silent. Need to exercise more? Sleep in your workout clothes and put your shoes by the door. Each friction adjustment makes good choices the path of least resistance. Small changes to your environment lead to massive behavior changes. With strategic environment design, you'll stop battling yourself and feeling like a failure when willpower inevitably falters. You'll create sustainable systems that make continuous progress almost automatic, regardless of motivation. We've all set ambitious goals only to find our environments working against us. From phones that constantly interrupt focus to kitchens full of temptations when trying to eat better. Our culture glorifies powering through difficult circumstances rather than intelligently redesigning those circumstances to support our goals. Think about how much easier it is to avoid eating junk food when it's not in your house versus when it's sitting right in front of you. That's environment design at work. I once tried to break my social media habit through sheer willpower. 2 hours later, I found myself mindlessly scrolling Instagram while literally reading a book about how to stop using social media. That's when I realized willpower is just a really expensive way to fail with extra steps. Chapter 4. Strategic Automation. Set it up once, benefit forever. What if you could do the work once, then have it automatically repeat forever? That's not lazy, that's genius. And it's exactly what strategic automation makes possible. Strategic automation is the ultimate leverage tool for the ambitious but lazy. You multiply your effectiveness exponentially. This is how you scale yourself. The real power comes from automating not just tasks, but decisions, communications, and even creativity. When properly implemented, automation compounds over time, continuously delivering value while you focus on new opportunities. Start by identifying recurring tasks in your work and life. Create templates for common emails and documents. Use scheduling tools for social media and communications. Set up automatic bill payments and financial transfers. Build checklists and standard operating procedures for repeated processes. Each automation frees mental bandwidth for higher value activities. The initial investment pays dividends forever. By embracing this, you'll break free from the time for money trap. You'll create systems that work for you 24/7, allowing you to achieve more while doing less. This is how the ambitious but lazy outperform the merely hardworking. Most of us waste countless hours repeating the same tasks slightly differently each time, when setting up a system once could eliminate that work forever. Our education system teaches us to manually execute tasks repeatedly, rather than teaching the meta skill of building systems that execute automatically. Remember that feeling when you finally set up a system that handled a recurring task without your involvement? That mixture of relief and pride is addictive. I once spent 3 hours automating a task that would have taken me 5 minutes to do manually. My friend pointed out this wasn't efficient until I mentioned that this task happens weekly. After a year, I'll have saved almost an hour. Okay, sometimes we take automation too far, but you get the point. And hey, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Also, let me know your thoughts on what I just shared. Oh, and there's more. I've just started a Patreon to help support these videos and connect with you more directly. Check out the link in the description if you'd like to join. Chapter 5. Building Systems versus Setting Goals. Goals are for amateurs, systems are for professionals. If you want to achieve something once, set a goal. If you want to achieve something forever, build a system. Goals have a fundamental flaw. They exist in the future and provide no guidance for the present. Systems, however, operate in the present and continuously move you forward. This distinction changes how you look at success. The ambitious but lazy focuses on developing systems that make success inevitable, rather than chasing goals that create constant pressure. When your system is working, results take care of themselves. Don't set a goal to write a book. Create a system where you write 500 words daily, no matter what. Don't aim to get in shape. Design a system that gets you to the gym 3 times weekly without fail. The key is removing decision-making from the equation and focusing on the process, not the outcome. Systems succeed where willpower fails. By shifting from goals to systems, you'll experience continuous progress rather than repeated failure. You'll eliminate the emotional roller coaster of goal setting and develop sustainable processes that deliver results regardless of motivation or circumstances. Most New Year's resolutions fail by February because they're goals without systems, destinations without vehicles to get you there. Our achievement-focused culture celebrates reaching goals but rarely acknowledges the unglamorous systems that made those achievements possible. Think about something you've consistently succeeded at. I bet it's not because you set a goal once, but because you built a reliable system around that activity. That's the power of systems thinking. Setting a goal without building a system is like telling your friend you'll meet them across the country without figuring out transportation. Sure, I'd love to have dinner in New York tonight. I'm currently in California with no car or plane ticket, but I've set a really ambitious goal about it. Chapter 6. The minimum effective dose for maximum results. More effort rarely produces proportionally more results. So, the question becomes, what's the least amount of work you can do for the greatest possible outcome? The minimum effective dose is the smallest input needed to produce the desired outcome. Anything beyond this is wasted effort. This is true productivity. The ambitious but lazy isn't looking to do more. They're determined to find the exact leverage point where minimal input creates maximal output. This approach eliminates unnecessary work while maintaining or even improving results. In fitness, research shows that high-intensity interval training for 20 minutes can deliver better results than an hour of steady-state cardio. In learning, teaching a concept to someone else after studying it once produces better retention than reviewing it multiple times. In business, focusing exclusively on your highest value clients often produces better returns than trying to please everyone. Find your minimum effective dose in everything. By applying the minimum effective dose principle, you'll eliminate countless hours of low-value work. You'll stop confusing effort with results and start achieving more by doing less. This is the essence of working smarter, not harder. We often assume more is better, spending extra hours on projects with diminishing returns instead of finding the optimal stopping point. Society equates quantity of effort with virtue. when often the truly skilled know exactly when to stop and where to focus. Think about a time you overworked a project, only to realize the additional hours made minimal difference to the final result. That's the minimum effective dose teaching you a lesson. I used to spend hours crafting the perfect email until I realized the people receiving it were responding with "K thanks" from their phones while walking to the bathroom. Sometimes we forget we're optimizing things nobody else cares about. Chapter 7. Leveraging Others. Delegation without micromanagement. Your time is worth $1,000 an hour, but you're spending it on $15 an hour tasks. Let's fix that by mastering the art of leveraging other people's time and skills. True leverage comes from understanding that your time has varying values depending on what you're doing. This realization transforms how you work. The ambitious but lazy recognizes when others can do something 80% as well, but at 20% of the cost, in time or money. Effective delegation isn't about passing off work. It's about strategic resource allocation that multiplies your impact while reducing your personal workload. Start by tracking your activities for a week and assigning a value to each hour based on the impact produced. Identify low-value tasks that could be delegated. Learn to write clear instructions once that can be followed many times. Focus on outcomes rather than processes when delegating, giving others autonomy to solve problems their way. The initial investment in delegation pays exponential returns. By mastering delegation, you'll break through your personal productivity ceiling. You'll leverage the skills, time, and perspectives of others to accomplish more than you ever could alone, all while focusing only on what you do best. Most of us waste hours on tasks someone else could do better or faster, simply because we haven't developed the systems to effectively delegate. Our individualistic culture often views asking for help as weakness, when in reality, the most accomplished people are often the most effective delegators. Remember how freeing it felt the first time you successfully delegated a task you'd been dreading and it came back completed without your involvement? That's the magic of leverage. Trying to do everything yourself is like being a one-person band. Sure, you can play all the instruments at once, but you'll sound like a chaotic street performer when you could be conducting an orchestra. Sometimes we need to stop playing all the instruments and start conducting. Chapter 8. Creating assets that work while you sleep. The key difference between the wealthy and everyone else isn't how hard they work. It's that their money and systems work while they sleep. Let's build your overnight empire. True leverage comes from creating assets that generate value without your active involvement. This is how you break the time for money trap. The ambitious but lazy focuses on building intellectual, digital, and automated assets that work 24/7. Unlike the trading time for money, these assets can scale infinitely, potentially generating value for years or decades with minimal ongoing effort. Start by identifying your knowledge, skills, or interests that could be transformed into assets. This could be creating digital products, building automated systems for businesses, developing content that generates passive revenue, or creating templates and frameworks others can use. The initial effort is front-loaded, but the rewards are back-loaded. By building assets that work while you sleep, you'll break free from the limited earning potential of trading time for money. You'll create multiple income streams that require minimal maintenance while delivering maximum value to others and financial returns to you. Most people work for decades at jobs trading their irreplaceable time for money, never building assets that could eventually replace their income. Our education system rarely teaches asset creation, instead preparing most people to be employees rather than builders of automated value systems. Imagine checking your phone in the morning to discover you made money while sleeping from systems you set up weeks or months ago. That's not just a dream, it's entirely possible. My friend once asked me, "Isn't creating passive income actually a lot of work?" I told him, "Yes, it's a lot of work once. Having a job is a lot of work every day for 40 years. His expression was priceless. Chapter 9. The Strategic Efficiency Lifestyle. What if your entire life, not just your work, was designed for maximum results with minimum effort? Let's explore what that strategic efficiency lifestyle actually looks like. Strategic efficiency isn't just a productivity approach, it's a comprehensive life philosophy. This mindset can seriously transform everything you do. The ambitious but lazy designs their entire existence around leverage, value, and automation. From relationships to health to personal growth, every aspect of life becomes an opportunity to apply strategic thinking, systems design, and the 80-20 principle. Apply the minimum effective dose to your exercise routine. Use decision minimization for your finances with automated investing and saving. Implement strategic automation in your home with systems that maintain order with minimal effort. Practice environment design in your relationships by intentionally surrounding yourself with people who elevate your thinking and energy. When every aspect of your life operates on these principles, extraordinary results become inevitable. By embracing the strategic efficiency lifestyle, you'll experience a profound shift in how you approach everything. You'll achieve more meaningful goals while experiencing less stress and enjoying more freedom. This isn't just about productivity, it's about designing a better way to live. Many high achievers appear successful from the outside, but are secretly exhausted, overwhelmed, and wondering if the constant struggle is worth it. Our culture often associates success with visible busyness and struggle, when true mastery looks more like effortless effectiveness. Imagine looking back on your life and realizing you accomplished more than most, while enjoying the journey far more. That's the ultimate promise of strategic efficiency. People often ask me, if you're so efficient, what do you do with all your free time? I usually say, whatever I want, that's the whole point. Though honestly, half the time, I use that freedom to optimize something else in my life. It's a sickness, really. Remember, being ambitious but lazy isn't a contradiction. It's a true power when you harness it correctly. The world is full of busy people accomplishing little and burned out achievers who can't enjoy their success. But you now have the blueprint for something better. I could keep talking, but that would be inefficient. See, strategic laziness at work? Write in the comments section which of these principles you're going to implement first, or share your own ambitious but lazy hack that saved you time and energy. The real magic happens when this community of strategic minimalists starts sharing their systems. Together, we can accomplish more by doing less